Hi guys, and welcome back to Scale Studio. Today we're going to work on one of the most essential but generally unrecognized phase of weathering I use. But before we do that, if you guys do like this video or my work in general, please subscribe as it helps me out a ton and ensures that you don't miss out either. Now, this all-important phase of weathering is what I would describe as oils. For me, this includes filters, washes, oil dot modulation, and ambient occlusion. Now, this has probably been the longest intro I've ever done, so let's get started. To start off, I'm going to use a filter, probably the easiest but also very impactful technique in this video. To make it, I mixed a 50-50 ratio of raw umber and burnt umber to create a dark yellowish brown color. I then heavily thinned it with Testors Universal Enamel Thinner. After it's thoroughly mixed, I'm going to apply a thin, uniform coat over everything. Now, for those of you who don't know, a filter is an easy way to slightly change the tone or exposure of your paint job. However, a filter also serves to be a shared tone through each camo color, helping the paint job look more natural and unified. Another thing to keep in mind is to make sure that you apply as a very thin film. Otherwise, the result will be messy and splotchy, which is not the point of this effect and will not help the overall look of the tank. Hopefully here you can see the difference the filter made on the whole. Next, I'm going to mix a pinwash from burnt umber and sap green. If you don't know, a pinwash is another heavily diluted oil paint mixture, although less diluted than the filter, that you run into cracks between panel lines and around recessed details. Once dry, this can simulate grime that has collected there or just act as a shadow under or around an object. Sometimes you will apply a little too much, but it's not really a problem. Just take a brush and some enamel thinner and remove the offending tide marks. Now we're going to start one of my favorite techniques, and that's what I'm going to call oil dot modulation. As you can see, I'm applying dots of slightly off-tone oil paints to create an effect that you will see in a minute. For each camo color, I tried to get a lighter, darker, and then a brown to get some variation. I tried to apply them randomly, however I made sure to put lighter colors on the edges of the camo as well as on top of raised details, and darker colors towards the middle and lower sections of the object I'm working on. Once I've applied all the colors to where I want them, which can be pretty time consuming, I'm going to blend the colors with this brush and some enamel thinner. It's probably important to mention that I'm using a tapping motion to blend the colors, as this creates a little bit of a mottled effect that adds further variance and therefore interest to the paint job. And again, hopefully you can see the difference between the whole and the unmodulated turret. For the final effect, I'm going to apply a mix of burnt umber and black to places that would collect dirt and also be partially shaded. On the whole, this will be the turret ring and hatches, as well as the cap on the engine deck hatch. After it's applied, I'm going to blend the edges with some enamel thinner, again using a tapping motion. And for anyone wondering, we professionals call this effect ambient occlusion. Well, that just about wraps things up for today. As always, thank you so much for watching this far. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, as it helps me immensely, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming content. Next time, we'll work on chipping the Tiger, and you don't want to miss it. Hopefully this video was entertaining and informative, and we'll see you next time.